This training game, believe it or not, retails brand new at £1,250. Right, Mega Haul Part 2. This is the second part of a haul video. It's Sunday 2nd of August. I've done a previous part, but because I picked up so many good items today, it would have meant that my haul video would have been over an hour long. So if you haven't seen the first video, there's hi-fi, electronics, videos, antique electronics, jewellery, shoes, watches, high-end clothing, so a bit of a mixture there. And this one again, another big mixed bag, but all decent high margin items. So stick around for a bit and I'll explain what we've got and why I've made the buying decisions I have. If you don't know me, my name's Lee and welcome to Kola Flipper. So the first item is something I think we're actually going to keep. It was £1.50 for a set of fridge magnets. So there's my hand so you can gauge the size. And it's from the Fantastic Beasts movies. And if you've seen it, the artwork in Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts is done by a company called Mina Lima. And I just really like the style of it. So I just thought these are quite cool because they're done in a sort of 1920s, 1930s sort of style artwork. And yeah, so keeping these, £1.50 for a set of 4 magnets. Brand new, I think you can get the set from Mina Lima for about a tenner plus postage. But I think they've got a shop you can have a look at in Covent Garden. So if you're ever up that way and you want to check out some really cool artwork, I'd thoroughly recommend having a look at the Mina Lima shop. But yeah, these fridge magnets is pretty cool, so I should be keeping those. I tend not to pick up a lot in the way of board games. I know that a lot of the guys pick up board games and do them through Amazon FBA, but I don't have an FBA account. So I know you can get a lot more through Amazon than you can through eBay, so I've tended not to pick them up. But I did pick up these because I just thought they looked a bit interesting and they seemed like a good deal, to be honest. So I quite like a vintage game. And this one's called Sin Tactics. Can I find comps? No. It looks like it's a game from the late 70s, early 80s. It's a game for 1, 2, 3 or 4 people and it's using words and language. But it was 50p. It looks like it's complete. Got the board and loads of pieces, but having a look, the only ones that seem to be available in the US, they seem to be going for between, I think it was about £15 and £20. But I couldn't find any that have sold in the UK or Europe, so not sure if that's a fail, but at 50p it was a risk worth taking. So might have a go playing with that, but I don't think it's going to make me an awful lot of money. Same guy was selling, he had a handful of board games, to be honest, and this is another one that I picked up just because, well, it looks like it's a German game and it just had an interesting cover. I opened it up and I'll bring it over to the camera so you can have a look. So this is inside and I just picked it up because it had really beautiful artwork, nice vintage artwork. It's some sort of a roulette game. So you've got numbers, letters and you've got animals, and then if you take off the spinning wheel, it's a double-sided game, so you can, it looks like Ludo as well. So having a quick look at the instructions, it looks like there are 6 games, but it's a German set. But I really liked it because I don't know, I'm always drawn to sort of stuff from the 30s. We live in a 1930s house, but I just really like the artwork on the cards. I'll have to translate the game to see how it's actually played. But again, this was 50p. Can I find any comps? No, I cannot. So whether or not it's worth anything, I don't know. But I have considered whether I get these cards and get them mounted up in a frame and sort of just displayed in the house, because I just thought they were really cool. I like the period artwork. Just sort of something a little bit different. So for 50p, I might have a bit of artwork for the house, but yeah, I don't think again it's gonna be amazing for my bank balance, but it's nice to save something like this because I've never seen one like it. I couldn't find any comps on eBay, but yeah, it looks pretty cool. Got my instructions and the 6 different games there, but yeah, this is Tutti Ludi, 6 roulette based games, so yeah, should be interesting that. Now, this is the one that I saw afterwards. So I picked those 2 up for a £1 for the pair, and I saw the lid, and it was quite a big box, and it looks well made. So I just asked the guy, "Oh, do you know what sort of age group that game's for?" And he said, I don't really think it's for kids. He said he thought it was like one of those corporate team building games. He says if you open the box, you've got different boxes for the different teams. So like some sort of competitive, you and your team try and beat the other team in whatever the challenges are. So this is called Treasure Seekers Journey of Discovery. And it looks like a pretty impressive setup. So you've got Team A and Team B. Inside we've got observation sheets, we've got mission cards all sealed, board wipers, little character cards which look like people sort of on a treasure seeking mission. Looks like you have to build up some sort of a game as well out of these puzzle pieces. But that's something, yeah, so you've got 2 boxes like that. I asked him how much he wanted, and my initial thoughts were, I work for quite a big company, and any time we have to go on any sort of training, it costs an absolute fortune. So my thoughts are, if a game is specifically designed for corporate team building, it's got to be expensive. I asked the guy how much he wanted. He asked for a £5. I thought those 2 games at £1 for the pair was fair, and I thought, you know what, a £5, I'll take a punt on that. That's got to be worth a go. Again, could not find any comps on eBay, UK, worldwide, anywhere. So I've done 3 out of 3 here. Really struggling to find any comparable sold prices at all. So I then Googled Treasure Seekers Journey of Discovery, and it looks like the only place you can buy it is the company that delivers the training. They've got 2 different training games. This training game, believe it or not, retails brand new at £1,250. I need to still do a bit of digging because my jaw hit the floor when I saw that. So it does not mean that I'm going to get anywhere near that, because I'm not 100% sure. It might be that they provide the training and you get the game to keep, and maybe that's the £1,200. So I need to do a little bit of digging, but that has to be £5 well invested. So I'm not imagining that I'm going to get £1,000 for this, but it could be 100, could be more. So I do need to do some digging. But if let's say it doesn't involve the whole training course and this, and you just buy that for the 1,200 quid, is someone going to go to them for 1,200 quid? Or if I'm selling it for 400, 500, maybe that's something to look at. And again, maybe if I do build up a few bits and pieces games wise, maybe I should put it on Amazon. Again, it could be gated. I don't know the ins and outs, so I do need to find out. It might be something that is restricted and can only be sold by that company. So if that's the case, a complete fail. But it's interesting. So for a £5, this could be very interesting. I don't think I'm going to make an awful lot out of these. That one might end up being a bit of artwork, but could be a good one now. Could be a fail. So we'll see. So the other week when I had a mega clothing haul, there was one particular trader selling, and they had lots and lots of high-end items. They were there again, less clothing, but I did have another dig through, and some of it was fresh. So got some really good pickups from them, and I think I might have made a decent buying contact. So first, I think 6 items I got for 11 quid all in. So ladies, Armani jeans, skinny jeans, excellent condition, £2. Should be able to flip those for anywhere between 20 and 30 pounds depending on condition, which these are pretty good, but also how long I'm willing to wait, so that should be some easy money there. Got again another brand I always like picking up, backwards, is Mint Velvet. So I've got a batwing jumper, so you can see how it's got a very, very wide, so it's an oversized jumper, but it's a very wide sort of tapered finish. Mint Velvet always sells well, same sort of price point as Reese, so very high-end high street. I can't imagine this jumper new would have been any less than about 85 or £100. Does it say what it's made of? It's a cotton cashmere mix, so yeah, £2 out, that should get me in the region of 25 plus, I would have thought, so decent margin on that one. Next one, this one had a little bit of damage, so I asked if I could have this one for £1, and this is another Armani jeans one. This is a Armani jeans cardigan, and there is just the tiniest little pull at the seam on the shoulder, so I need to see if I can fix it myself. I think I can because it's 2 rows in from the seam edge. You can see there. If this was in a charity shop, I can imagine this would usually be up around the 10 to maybe £15 mark, but with the damage I would just leave it. There's no way I'd pick it up for that sort of price. But when it's £1, and because I bought a lot of them last time, and they said, oh, we've got new bits and pieces in. I asked how much, he said pretty much everything's there is £2, but there's the odd bit that's a little more expensive. So pretty much here everything was £2, and I said, would you mind if I have that one for £1 because it's got a hole in it? And they were, yep, absolutely fine. So yeah, that's a good one. See, maybe that is £1 wasted. I've just noticed there's a second hole in the back of the arm. So it's so difficult when you're at a car boot sale checking clothing. You're going to have some fails, and you're going to have some that have got some damage. Yeah, maybe this one I'm going to have to just sell on as damaged and note it and get my money back. Obviously I'm easily going to make my £1. I would have thought I'd still probably make more than that. So technically a fail for me because I'm not going to get my £20 margin, which is what I'm usually pushing towards as a whole. But it's £1, not the end of the world. I've got a nice summer dress here. So it's might have some trouble getting that knot out, but it's by Pringle. So it's elasticated at the back, so it should fit up around your bust, and then you've got that for your strap around your neck. Needs a damn good steam, but otherwise, again, £2. I can see that flying out the door quite quickly. Couldn't see much in the way of comps for Pringle type summer dresses, but it's a really nice fabric. It's a well-known brand, and it's the right time of year to sell this. So I cannot see any difficulty getting £20, £25 for that. I'll probably stick it up for somewhere between 25 and 30. If someone offers me over 20, I'm more than likely to take that. So nice dress that. What we got here? We have got a sort of vest or cami. I'm assuming this is some sort of nightwear. It's Ralph Lauren, extra small, £2. That's fine, I'm not bothered. So I haven't done comps on that. I literally have no idea what ladies Ralph Lauren nightwear goes for, but even if I get a tenner for it, that's fine. When you consider the entire bundle of items there for just over a tenner, I'll make my money back on one of those, and then everything else is free after that. This one, this is a Tommy Hilfiger shirt dress, sort of military style. Got the wraparound belts. You can do a bow. Pretty good condition, except here, just across the bow, it's one of the hook and eye closures. The eye has come off. Easily replaceable. That's a 10-minute job for me. Even I can fix that. But yeah, again, £2 for that. Despite the good name, Tommy Hilfiger, I have struggled to command decent prices. Really, I had some as new Tommy Hilfiger jeans, ladies jeans, a while ago, and they took an absolute age to sell. Saying that, I've kind of changed my tactics and my process, so I don't mind things waiting so long now because I make a higher margin, and technically I really overpaid for the jeans previously. So I can't imagine that I'm going to struggle to get £25 for this. So again, £25 after all my costs and fees, it's going to be around the £20 mark margin. And at £2 sitting on my shelf, whether that's now sitting there for a year, I don't care, it's not a problem. Well, when I overpaid for the previous Tommy stuff, I just went on the name, not considering how long it might take to sell it. So yes, I made my margin, but it sat there for a long time, tying up more money than I really wanted. That's only £2. I don't care if that takes 6 months to sell, a year, whatever. So I bought these and got chatting to the lady, and she said that she's going to be back there in a fortnight with a whole load of new stock. So yeah, so it looks like I've started to build up a bit of a decent contact there. And just as I was packing all these up, she said, "Oh, I've got an Escada suit. I only want a £5 for it. Do you want to have a look?" So yeah, I'll have a look. Packed those into my my tap bag, and went and had a look at a few other bits and pieces. So that store holder then brought me over this lady's Escada trouser suit. See if I can show it off half decent to you. So it's nothing flash, but Escada's a pretty good brand. I've never actually bought or sold any Escada before, and I wasn't sure on the comp, so I said, well, tell you what, I've just realised you've got more stuff on the floor. I'll have a look at that. She said she wanted a £5 for it, and I said, let me just see if there's any other bits and pieces. And she said, yeah, not happy to do a deal. So that Escada suit needs a steam, but otherwise in decent condition. Comps, they vary wildly, anything from £30 odd to over 100. So I don't know where I'm going to pitch that. But again, if it's only a £5 tied up, it's not the end of the world. But I might try and flip that one a little bit quicker. These ones, because they're only a £1 or a couple of pounds each, it's not so bad. £5, I don't know, if the margin's good, yeah, again, maybe I will just leave it longer. But yeah, comps do seem to wildly vary, so we shall have to see. So that's, if you can't see it, that's the Escada logo. Whilst I was then digging about on the floor, I had these, and these are a pair of Karen Millen heels. Karen Millen, I've mentioned before, they have gone into administration, so there are no more Karen Millen shops at all. There are no more concessions in department stores, so it does mean that Karen Millen stuff is going to be harder to get. People know and trust that brand. They make high quality, really high quality clothing and footwear. And so I had a look at these. Need a bit of a clean. So there's your Karen Millen logo. Things I look for: what is the heel like? Are there any scuffs and rips in that? If there's any scuffs and rips in this, it's just not worth my time. Always check the buckle to make sure there's no rips and tears in the buckle. The sole on Karen Millens are proper leather. Cheap shoes will be plastic. So that little logo there, that means it's leather. That's essentially the shape of a cow. But but you can see with the way it's all stitched, this is the difference between a cheap shoe and a quality shoe. You've got details like this. So that would have been, I would have said somewhere between 80 and 150 pounds. I'd probably say over 100 for these new. So I picked up these and started building together a little bundle to ask how much it was going to be. There was again a big mixture of anything from Primark, Florence and Fred to your supermarket brands, and then all of a sudden you see Dolce & Gabbana mixed in there. So you've got a Dolce & Gabbana vest top. It does say underwear, so this is probably like a sleeping top, and it does say on the back as well, so it's not like you can go out and wear that out and about on town. You might do, I wouldn't. Don't know what the comps are on that, but when I put together this little package, it was well worth it. So I then also picked up these. So this is Daisy by Marc Jacobs. So I'm assuming this is sort of like your sort of ladies' neck scarf thing. So I bundled together 2 purple and 1 pink scarf, the ladies' shoes and the Dolce & Gabbana vest top with the Escada suit. She wanted 5 for the suit. I said, well, if I get these as well, how much do you want? She said, I just need to get clear of some of this stuff. Give me £6 for the lot. So £5 for the suit, and I've now paid £1 for a decent, good condition pair of Caramelons, a Dolce & Gabbana sleep top, and a handful of Marc Jacobs scarves. So I can't go wrong with these. Comps wise, so this, no clue. Caramelons, I've had mixed luck with these, anywhere from sort of 18 quid to sort of 45, depending on the style and the condition. I'll probably pitch those at over 30 and see where we go, but at £1 it doesn't matter. So these scarves, I couldn't find these sort of plain sort of sheer ones, so comps again difficult, but Marc Jacobs scarves seem to go anywhere between sort of £8 delivered to I think I saw some of that 17, 18, 20 quid. So if these go at £8 delivered, that'll go large letter. So second class, and the weight wise as well is probably about £1.40 to post. So let's say I make a £5 on each of those, that's £15 profit there. That's not bad. So yeah, I think I've done quite well out of those. So they'll be back there in a fortnight, and I'm going to make sure I hover around looking for them. I know where their pitch is now. I want to get in early, because if this is the sort of stuff they normally have, and she said they've got a lot more coming, I'm going to be sniffing around for that, because this is some proper money making stuff. Right, got some pretty good shoe pickups. If you've seen my videos before, I've been through it before. I like selling shoes because they're cheap to pick up. You can clean them up, make them look really, really good quite easily. You can't break them in the post, and they're relatively small to store, and the margins can be very, very good. So I do love picking up shoes, and I've picked up some great stuff here today. What did I get first? So these aren't your normal sort of suede finish Uggs. These are a leather finish one. Haven't sold this particular version before, so I was a little bit skeptical, and I still haven't done all my due diligence on checking, but I couldn't check the specific model number which is on the tag on the inside there, because there was lots of other good shoes on this particular store, and I knew that if I went off and did that, these might go like that, and I've missed out on margin. So depending on what price they were going to offer them to me, I then had to make a very quick decision. Am I willing to take that risk, not knowing this particular model as well as the other ones? So most Uggs, I can tell if they're real or not, and I've built up like a mental sort of tick list of certain models, what I'm looking for. And one of the main things to do with Uggs, you've got the suede sheep finish on one side and the sheepskin on the other, and you can't pull them apart because it's the same piece of animal. but these leather ones are stitched. There's the sheep lining, and then that suede stitched to leather. So I can't do that normal test. Things that you can do, wool, genuine wool, is actually quite scratchy. If it's too soft, it's unlikely to be real low. So other things that you can do, again, I've mentioned before, there's Uggs have a certain weight, and fake ones seem to be lighter, don't have the same balance. And again, it's just building up that familiarity. And if I've now kind of gone slightly outside my comfort zone because I'm not familiar with this particular model, but I asked how much they were, because they were fairly scuffed up, the leather's not been looked after. They wanted a fiver. At £5, I'll take that risk. I know I've made my money back well today, so if this is a £5 loss because I've bought some fakes, it's not the end of the world. It's not ideal, I don't want that, but it's not the end of the world. Still need to do a little bit of checking, but I believe these are real. I need to do a little bit of due diligence, looking at the reference and codes and double check. Last time I sold leather Uggs, I got £55–65. I know these will not sell, are unlikely to sell until winter time, so I'll be sitting on that fiver for a while. Whilst the leather doesn't look great now, this will clean up really well. Other things that I was happy with, you can just tell the quality of the manufacturing. So whilst again I'm not familiar with this particular one, you've got this stitching here in the welt. You've got leather up a bit before you get to the rubber here, so you've got a leather welt. It's a high quality leather logo pin on the back, and you got the codes which look similar to the ones that I've bought previously. So even though I'm unfamiliar with this specific model, I'm relatively confident in knowing that this is good quality. So yeah, should be okay with these. I would have thought once these, I need to check they're real, but as long as they are, I should have no issue once I've cleaned, polished and made them look as new again. Should be no issue getting anywhere between sort of the £40–60 mark. Don't mind waiting, so that'll go in the winter, so no issues there. Pick those up, just about to walk off, and then they replaced the gap I created with some Timberlands. So these are the roll neck Tims, so they're either up high or you can roll them down. Now these are quite badly bubbled, sorry, squeaky chair, they're quite badly bubbled, so you can see the condition around here. So I need to get the fabric shaver out. But the nubuck on the toe, it needs a clean. It does need a clean, but there's no deep gouges and scuffs. I do find that with the lighter colour, the classic wheat, sort of yellowy coloured ones, even with my cleaning gear, and I've got a lot of shoe cleaning gear, I can clean them up, but I do struggle sometimes to get them looking pristine. Darker colours, not so difficult. Other things to think about, Timberland look very similar to Caterpillar boots. In my personal experience, I find that Caterpillar boots do not sell anywhere near as quickly and for nowhere near the same value. So whilst they may look the same, the margins are very, very different. So last couple of pairs of Timberlands I sold for around the £50 mark. So these again were a fiver. Once I've cleaned these up, I would anticipate being able to get somewhere between £40 and £60. I'm familiar with the labelling as well, so I know that these are genuine. As you can see, they're quite dirty. Not a problem for me. I don't mind cleaning shoes. I don't have a problem with it. But if I can make extra margin, that's not a problem. So both of these should be £5 into somewhere between 40 and 60. So good buys there. Got a pair of ladies Nike Air Max. A little bit of dirt there. There is wear on the sole, but it's not ridiculous. Do the bend test to make sure there's no splitting. What I didn't check was that the bubbles are intact, but they are. Not bad for heel wear. always check inside the back where the heel counter is. This is where it always rubs and tends to wear out first. So I will see a lot of Nike Air Max out. The fronts generally look in good condition, pick them up, and it's just a hole in the back. No one wants to buy it just makes it an uncomfortable wearing experience, so no one's going to buy your shoes. So always check the heel counter to make sure it's not worn out. But yeah, these were 5. In my head, I mentally priced up that I should be able to get 35 for these. So if they'd have said anywhere up to sort of the £10 mark, I probably would have paid it. So these are a good colour, good size. They do need it clean, but the margin is good. So well chuffed with these. And look at the state of these. So these are more Timberlands. I'll just bring them up to the camera so you can see the state of the toes. Again, these are Timberland boots. Heel's in good condition, so you can see there's still plenty of tread around the heel, so your heel will tend to wear quicker. But look at the state of the leather. These have never ever seen any sort of nourishing ever. You've got a couple of scuffs and gouges, but not the end of the world. With my leather cleaning gear, I will get these looking pretty much as new. So again, I haven't sold this particular style of Timberlands before, but this seems to be more of this is your fashion work boot type Timberland. This is more of your hiking style Timberland. Hiking boots of this style, non-Timberland ones, I've sold quite a few brushes, anywhere from sort of your high 30s, so £38 odd, to your £70 odd. La Sportiva is an Italian branded hiking boot. I've sold those anywhere between your £85 and £120. These ones, I would have thought I should be able to push minimum £40, somewhere between 40 and 60. Haven't specifically looked at comps, but I need to make sure they look good first. So I do need to get these cleaned up, but these will come up nice. So maybe I'll do a little video on refurbishing these just to demonstrate. So £5 into 40 to 60, £5 into 40 to 60, £5 into 30, 35-ish, £2 into, don't know, let's say 30 to 50, but at least £2 into 30. I'll still make my minimum £20 margin on these, but I should get more. And it's a lot. I wonder if a lot of people would pass these by because they're in a bit of a state. Build up your knowledge and your skills at getting something that looks a state good, because you will then pick up the things that other people won't, and you'll still make that margin. So yes, I've invested in my cleaning kit. Was it worth it? Hell yeah, because once I've cleaned up a couple of pairs of shoes, it's paid for, and then it's all profit after that. So yeah, I'll do a couple of cleaning videos and refurbishing shoe videos at some point. But yeah, good margin on shoes, so that's why I like shoes. Got some fails in here, and it's through the rush of trying to get clothing at a car boot sale, because you've got, there can be a scrum. I'm trying to avoid people. I don't want to get too close to people. I know I need to keep moving on to the next store, and I don't have the time that I would normally have in a charity shop to browse. But I'm not paying the higher prices that I would normally pay in a charity shop, so I can afford to take a couple of fails. And I seem to have hit a couple of them all in one place. So I paid £20 for a bundle of bits and pieces. Initially picked up the jacket. If I can find the top, I can show you. A nice heavyweight men's winter jacket, and it's one of my favourite brands to sell, and that is Escada. Let me just bring up the label so you can see the logo. So, Escada, don't know if I can get that so you can see without too much. There you go. Quality brand. Very similar sort of range to say Burberry, not quite as high. They're again renowned for their Macintoshes. So a Burberry Mac new, you're looking at £1,400, where an Aquascooter Mac you're looking at £700-800. Winter coat, very heavyweight, very nice. Asked how much, she wanted 20 for that. I started having a look around at other bits and pieces. No, I thought there was a few other bits that I liked, so I asked if they could do a bit of a deal. And we put together a deal, which was £20 for 4 items. So it was the Aquascutum jacket, a men's Liberty of London shirt. So whilst Liberty's a good brand and a good name, well made, good quality cloth, this isn't your normal typical fancy Liberty pattern. If you just Google Liberty pattern, they do some really intricate, fantastic, beautiful cloth. This is just a little bit tame for them. So I've got these two, and then there was this. And this is genuine Prada. It's a Prada shirt, and this is one of my fails. I did not notice bloody great stain down the front. So that's my bad, and I did that in the rush. So a genuine Prada shirt should be able to get a minimum of £30 for that without too much hassle. But it's got a bloody great stain in it, so that may be a complete fail. I checked the collar edges, I checked the cuffs, I checked all the buttons were there. Somehow, God knows how, I've missed that massive stain. So can I get it out in the wash? Don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so that might end up. Oh, there's another great big stain up here as well. So I might end up having a Prada shoe cleaning cloth. Right, this is Marc Jacobs. Doesn't look like the original tag, so I don't believe it's brand new with tags, but it's in very good condition. Very fine knit. I've had a look at the label now, and it's in another language. There's no English on there. It does feel like a very fine knit wool, so I don't know whether it's merino. I need to translate that basically. But so it's a plain navy Marc Jacobs jumper, and there's a little fleck of sort of metallic shimmery stuff in this blue collar. Honestly, I've not done the comps on this, so I don't know, but this whole bundle, basically she originally wanted £20 for the coat, and I managed to get her to, what did we go to in the end? We ummed and we settled on 20 for the lot. 20 or 25 on the lot, not 100% sure, can't remember. So we either settled on 25 for the lot or 20 for the lot. So we've got one that's a fail. This has got to be £40 of Marc Jacobs, so that covers everything. So as long as I can sell that for 40 odd quid, I'm in profit. So that's good. This, if I can get that stain out, Prada shirt, £25 minimum all day long, can possibly push for more. Considering it's got a stain, if I can't get that out, this is going to be a very high quality shoe cleaning cloth. And the Liberty one, I've got to be honest, I haven't done comps on it yet. Typically the higher end shirts, I can usually get somewhere between the £20 and £40 mark. If that was a fancy pants Liberty print, I would have pushed for a high value on that. As it's just a bit of a plain Jane, nothing pattern, maybe 20 quid, don't know. I need to look at the comps, but again, for a small outlay, not too bad. When I mentioned fails, it's not just that Prada jacket, so sorry, the Prada shirt. Picked this up as I settled up. As I said, I can't remember if it's 20 or 25 for the lot. As I was rolling it up and putting it in my tap bag, I noticed a bloody great big, what looks like either a cigarette burner or a moth hole. So I took it back to the lady and said, look, I'm really sorry, I don't really want this, it's got a hole in it. And she said, well, what if I just give you a £5 back? I think I did 20, I think it must have been 20 for the lot, and she gave me a £5 back. So the way I look at it is that bundle has cost me a £5. That's fine, even if I've got a ruined Prada shirt, £2.50 for the other 2 items, that makes money, that's not a problem. This, I thought I'd still take a punt. It's a good quality jacket, it has got a hole, I don't know if it's repairable, I'll see what I can do. I will obviously declare that, but this hasn't cost me an awful lot. In hindsight, I don't know if I really should have picked it up, I should have just said no and just taken the other bits. But I still don't think I'll lose money on this. So even with the hole and declaring the hole, I would have thought that I won't make a loss. I just don't know how much I will make. So it could be long tail, and it could be sitting on my shelf for quite a while. But we'll see. You live and learn. And so yeah, let's chalk that up as another fail. So I think I've got another fail here. So yeah, not doing too well today on certain bits, but because on average I'm getting things at such decent prices, I can afford to make a couple of fails. Got a Timberland field jacket. Military style field jackets always go relatively well for me. So A, I've got the style on my side. B, it's a well-known brand, Timberland. They're a good brand to keep an eye out for. This particular one, I quite liked it because you've got this inner cardigan which pops into the main body of the jacket, but you can remove it if you want a more lightweight jacket. Checked all the toggles, the zips, the poppers. Got the big main zip on the front. Checked that. And they wanted £8 for this, and then also on the rack, it's a nice Ted Baker sort of cami style sort of strappy top. So bejeweled, quite fancy looking. They wanted 8 for the jacket, 4 for this. I offered them a tenner for the pair, which they accepted. The Ted Baker cami top, haven't looked at comps. It's a decent brand. I should be able to get somewhere between 15 and 25 for that. I usually try and push for my £20 margin. I don't know if I'll get it on this, but it won't be too far off. So reasonably happy with that. Where the fail comes into it is the zip on this. I checked the zip. When I zipped it up there, it was fine. Always check your zips. And even though I checked the zip on this, by the time I got home, the zip had basically undone itself halfway across, so it was zipped up at the top but it all come apart at the bottom. I've just spent the last 10 minutes zipping up and zipping down. The zip is banjaxed. There's nothing I can do other than to either replace the zip, or zips are about, if I go and take that in to get that done, it's a minimum of £25 to get a new zip on it. Putting £25 into something I've already spent £7 on, I'm not going to make my money back, so that knocks that out of the question. What I can do, remove the cardigan, sell the cardigan on its own. Timberland cardigan, coming up for winter, minimum £20, I'll try and push for £25, so I'll make my money back there, and I might just have this as a coat for the garden and use the poppers. I don't know if I really want to sell something on that's got a gammy zip, because it's just got the chance of it coming back and then I'll end up having to pay out for postage out and back. Probably not worth my time. So on the bright side, I've got the inside that I can sell, so yeah, should be able to make my money back. But yeah, another fail. We'll chalk that up as me not checking properly. Right, last 3 items and then we are done. Standard Reese cardigan, good condition, a couple of little pulls, but nothing too dramatic. Again, when you're in a field in the rush, you can't always pick up every defect. There are a couple of pulls, but they're not bad. So I think I paid £2 for this, so that should be an easy 20 to 25. Maybe I'll knock it out a little bit cheaper if I can't sort the pulls out. Needs a bit of a debobble. Definitely worth investing in a decent debobbler. I started with a cheap debobbler, and it actually ruined some clothes rather than debobbling them. I now use a Phillips debobbler, and I use that on quite a lot of items, and that's been really good for me. So that should be £2 into 20-ish, maybe a little bit less, depends how quick I want to move that on. Another good brand to keep an eye out for, Jigsaw. So got a nice cotton jigsaw dress. Is this Empire line? Right, so yeah, nice jigsaw dress. Nothing fancy, nothing special. It's a little bit sun faded. Again, this might be a fail. There's a little bit of a bleach mark there, but I only paid £2 for this as well. So considering the bleach mark's probably covered up by the ruching, I'll still make profit on it. It won't be as good as if it was 100% perfect, but £2 for a jigsaw dress, can't go too far wrong. Might have gone slightly wrong. And the very final item needs a hell of a debobble, but it's a nice Ted Baker Angora mix cardigan. And the problem with Angora is it's bloody fluffy as hell. But once I've debobbled this, I've got a nice big sort of cable knit style around the collar. You've got the Ted Baker pin, and I think it was 70% wool, 30% Angora, so super soft. But yeah, needs a bit of a clean. £2 or £3 I think I paid for this. So again, once it's in good shape, I do need to do a bit of work on it, but I should be able to achieve somewhere around the £30-something mark for that. But yeah, well worth investing in a debobbler, and I'll be using that. If you are looking for a decent debobbler, I personally have gone with Phillips. I've used non-branded ones before, and I have come unstuck. There are affiliate links in my description, so please feel free to check it out. And they come in different colours, and doesn't matter what colour it is, they all debobble the same, so get whichever one is the cheapest one. But Phillips has been working well for me. So that was my that's the second part of the mega haul. I've spent £145 in total, so that includes this haul and the previous video. I have not totted up the grand total of what I should be able to get yet, but I'll be able to make back my £140-odd investment with a handful of items, and then everything after that is pure profit. Some of these are going to be quick flips, and that's why I tend to pick up trainers and boots and shoes if I can, because I know I can flip those quite quickly, and then that pays for the rest of the items, which means I don't mind sitting on them, and whether it takes 3, 6, 9, 12 months to sell, doesn't matter a monkey. So that's my particular strategy, and I know that won't work for everyone, but that's how I work. And yeah, it's all right. It does mean I've got a few cash flow right now, because I'm shelling out, because I'm doing 2-car boots every weekend, and I'm shelling out between 100 and 150 every weekend. That's £1,000 a month going out of my pocket, and I'm not taking £1,000 a month in at the moment. So it's yeah, but the long term is it won't be an issue. So I know that I won't be going to charity shops much for the rest of the year, for the fact that I'm going to be working from home. When I work in an office, I've got 14 different charity shops I can hit on my lunch breaks. That's just not going to be an option. So that's why I'm loading up with as much high quality items as I can now, knowing that it's going to be pretty difficult pickings later in the year. So make hay while the sun shines. Hopefully that's given you a bit of insight again into how I make my buying decisions, and and has opened your eyes to a few different brands you may not have been aware of. I've had a couple of fails as well, so hopefully it's given you a little bit of education on things that you should check that I haven't checked or haven't checked thoroughly. And again, these things are going to happen. You cannot check every single thing 100% when you're at a car boot sale. So don't beat yourself up too much when you do make a fail, because you're buying a decent volume of items. The wins way outweigh the fails. So even if you do make the fails, they're covered. The losses aren't going to be the end of the world. So yeah, just go in with the right strategy. Be sensible about it, and try and have an idea of what you're going to do, how your business should have a strategy, and have a buying strategy before you go to the car boot sale, and it will help you not get it's almost like when you're beer goggles. What you don't want to do is just keep pick anything that looks cool. It isn't always going to make you margin, and there were plenty of items that I turned away today. There's a really nice pair of Todd's loafers with the little pebble sole. They're 190 new. These ones had been worn. There was a little bit of wear on the leather, and they wanted 25 for them. I know I can flip those for 50 relatively easily, but 25 into 50, once you've taken out your the fees, etc., that's £25 of my money that's tied up for potentially a few months, because I want to get a high 20. They'll go for 50 to 70, so I could have it sitting there for quite a while without making me any money. Where with the clothing that I've bought, I spent £25 on a great big bundle of stuff, which I can flip relatively quickly, and it spreads my risk. So rather than one item, I might have 10, 15 items. So the margin on those combined is way higher than on the £25 pair of Todd's loafers. If I saw a year ago, if I saw the Todd's loafers for 25 quid, I'm picking them up all day long, because I know I can at least double my money. But I need to be smarter about things, and make more calculated decisions. So that's why I decided to leave them. There was a really nice pair of Dolce & Gabbana ladies tweed sort of style trousers. Again, the lady wouldn't budge on 20 quid. Did I really? 20 quid for a pair of Dolce & Gabbana trousers, it's a good buy. But I didn't want to tie up 20 quid when I knew that that was only my third aisle in the car boot sale, and I knew that there was a lot of really good stuff out there, and I thought that £20 would be invested better over a mixture of items. So I turned down something that I knew I could make money on, because I knew I could make more for the same outlay. So just yeah, think about what you're spending your money on, and what you can get for it. So as I said, hopefully that's opened your eyes up to a few different things. If you've enjoyed the video, it's been useful, please can you give it a thumbs up. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. My name is Lee, and thank you for watching me on Kola Flipper. I'll see you next time. That's my stomach rumbling. I haven't eaten.